Yo, I'm back at it. Of course, another day. I'm out here actually about to go directly into some door-to-door marketing. I got to put out some door hangers, guys. I try to make multiple impressions when it comes to trying to close new jobs when the season, and you want to do that early in the season. You can either do that in January. It really depends on the type of service you're offering. For me, right now, I'm going to be pushing out landscape services. I'm trying to land some large ticket items. Of course, I do have sod installation is one of my main things that I'll be pushing, but an entry, a doorway to this new subdivision, new development that I'm in right now. As you can see, these houses are newly built. They haven't been up, let's say, 3 months. They haven't been living in these houses for 3 months. But yet, all the cars in the driveway, you see the cars all in the driveways. So that means there's people home. I'm not going to knock on any doors. I'm not going to do that. I'm actually going to just be putting out door hangers. And what I'm doing, and guys, I'm trying to um, give the people uh, impression, basically. Let them know that hey, they offer these services. Right? Specifically, I'm targeting escrow. Um, so that's the first things they want to remove out. So what I'm offering initially is this right here. This right here is a mulch installation. I don't know if you guys can clearly see this. I actually got this door hanger design from, I believe, Mike Andes. A few years ago, I ordered a couple thousand, and I still have a few left over for when I push this out throughout the seasons. But what I like about this estimate, sorry about the truck beeping. What I like about this estimate is, if you can see in the top corner, it says 7 days, right? This estimate is good for 7 days. So that puts the time urgency on this estimate. And as you can see, it says the area, it says mulch, you see quantity, and then you see notes. And of course, guys, you see the total. You can put a price there. So, for example, this is what I'm doing for these specific properties. Being that these properties are pretty close together, they don't have like large yards. I don't know if you guys, whatever areas you're in, but when it comes to like new developments in my area, they try to stack these houses almost on top of each other. So they don't have much space. The landscape space is not huge. It's not like on 2 acres of property. The lots are literally under a quarter acre. So the homes are pretty much vertically built. The home takes up majority of the property, the lawn space. So the landscaping is, of course, a fraction of that. Just based on what I'm estimating on these properties, on my experience, is roughly, if I was to do mulch, it would probably be 3 cubic yards. If I'm going to do rock, it'll probably be more than likely 3 to 4 cubic yards because rock requires a certain amount of depth. But anywho, I'm going to be estimating that on these type of estimates. This is just an example of how you can break them down. This one right here is not the one I'm going to be putting up because you see I have the weeding, hedge trimming, pre-emergent, like all that stuff. And this specific one I drew out for clients who already are in an established neighborhood where they already have a landscape. It's not a new development. For a specific new development, they want something fresh. They want something new to start off their journey. And I want to give them, the best solution for their landscape. So this right here is not absolutely necessary. You see, this one says add-ons. You can get, a weed barrier fabric, defined edge, ground cover removal. That's usually included within the process, of course, unless we're just adding to it. But then, as you can see, guys, where it says mulch, it says brown, red, or black, and then it says cypress mulch. These right here are just a few different things I want to call out. And then the area that I'm trying to, do this on is based on the front and the sides of the property. So what I do is I bracket the pricing on these estimates because there's going to be, some people that say, hey, can you do the back? You've already did the front and the sides. Can you do the backyard? So I bracket the pricing to accommodate what it would cost. So in reality, say if it's 3 yards a month based off of what you want to charge, I'm gonna just say $150 per cubic yard of mulch, right? It's $450 just for the mulch installation. And if they wanted to add the back on, it might be a little bit more. It's not going to be unless they got like a tree or external areas that's not alongside the house, roughly it's going to be under a half a yard. It's not going to be much. So that's why I bracket it and say 3 to 4 cubic yards. So 3 yards roughly, for me, it's going to be $450. That's mulch. For rock, however, I bracketed at anywhere from $800 to $2,500. Reason being is it's River Rock that I'm talking about is exclusive, and you can't get around the cost in my area. You can go to a big box store, but you'll pay way more money for what you're trying to do for us, the landscaping, because the product, you can't get around the product cost to an extent. Even if you order in bulk, it's still costly. So I order from one of my local nurseries that do have a variety of uh, River Rock, which it costs almost $300 a yard, roughly. It's going to cost a little over 300, to be honest, per yard delivered. So that's the reason why it costs a little bit more for per yard, cubic yard of rock. So for these properties, I'm gonna be going to these doors. The goal is not to knock on the door and disturb them. I know me, like me personally, I'm more so in the sales and marketing, and I have a business. So when people come knock on my door, initially I was like, man, I don't want to see nobody. I don't want to talk to nobody. I'm tired of people trying to sell me something, especially when it comes to new development. People don't want to be bothered. So my goal is to give them a price without bothering them and let them make a decision. That's my way of selling. Give people information. If it fits them, they reach out to me. The close rate on what I'm looking for this, if I land one out of freaking 20 door hangers I put out, that's great. Because these flyers pay for themselves with one customer, because every job is profitable. On average, the average ticket for these jobs, I'm pretty sure it's going to be anywhere from 500 to 2 grand. So it's worth the time. And this is round one, y'all. This is round one, because you can't just put out one door hanger one round and think that, oh, it's gonna happen, guys. Something's great's gonna happen, right? Like, oh man, I'm gonna put out 100 door hangers, and like 90 of them gonna hit me up and want service. I'm gonna be real with you and be transparent. Do not discourage yourself in that way, because this is highly competent. There's many services that are seeking out these houses, and that's unrealistic expectations just for a short word. If you look at any of the statistics of the close rate or return rate on putting out door hangers, it can be anywhere from 2 to 5%. It can be up to 10%. It really depends on your design. It depends on what type of door hanger you're putting out. But it can vary. It really can vary, because it's very competitive when it comes to marketing to new development. So my goal is to put out this. This is currently the end of February. March is next week. Well, March is actually the end of this week. This Saturday, March starts. Our spring starts on March 20th, according to the climate, the weather, etc. March 20th is our spring. However, we really don't experience a true spring where everything is green until April, mid-April. Everything right now is dormant. So this round right here, I'm going to be blasting these people pretty frequent, because I really, really want this area. So this week, I'm putting out mulch just so they can improve the aesthetics of the property. Next week, I'm coming back. I'm going to hit them up with a weed control fertilization door hanger, and then, turf management, basically. And then, being that it's a new development, they have sod already. They have grass. So it's not like, they don't have anything at all, but I'm going to present them with sod installation on my third round. Then I'm going to spin the block. So this is next 3 weeks. I'm going to be marketing pretty heavy to this specific neighborhood. And the goal is not to encroach on anybody, to bother anybody. If someone if they have no soliciting signs, right? The rule is this, guys. If they have no soliciting signs, that means they don't want you knocking on the door bothering them. Some people think that when it's you can't put out door hangers, which is not necessarily. It's called. Look up the definition of canvassing the neighborhood. If it says no soliciting within entering the neighborhood, all that means, guys, is do not try to knock on somebody's door and sell them something. That's not what I'm trying to do today. The goal for me to do today is to put out these to make impressions. They have to get familiar with the company. They have to get familiar with the brand, etc. And they have to want the service. I don't know where these people's heads at. Maybe they moved into this house and things are tight. we don't know people's situation when they're moving into new development homes, but it's a blessing that they got a new home. Maybe they want to improve the aesthetics, maybe they don't, but we don't know that. We just got to put out the information and look for a response through the method of what we're looking to get this feedback. So with this specific method, guys, I don't have a phone number on here at all. Reason being is I don't want people to call me. I don't want a conversation on the phone. I don't want them to call me. I want them to actually send me an email. That's my method. Once they send that email, I'm going to plug their information into my CRM, which is an extra step for me, I know, but I have to be able to target this stuff. I mean, be able to track this stuff to know when I put out these door hangers, how did these people reach out to me? And if it's from the door hangers, I don't want to know if, I don't want to just put out door hangers and then get random calls and people inquiring about mulch installation, and I don't know all this new business is coming from. Have to be able to track it, guys. You get what gets measured, get managed, and this is a process of measuring. So I don't have multiple ways. I don't have a phone number. I don't have the website. I don't want them to go to neither one of those. My goal is to have them email me. Is they could take the goal, it says it on the flyer. Email this photo to this to get this scheduled. And the email is at the bottom of the door hanger. So I'm gonna go ahead and get out there and go ahead and get going. But I'm gonna take y'all with me a little bit just to, you know, show you that I'm not doing nothing crazy. And I already have the pricing. I have a pricing already on the door hanger. So I'm gonna just pop out a few of them for the moment, but gotta get some motion going, y'all. Gotta be proactive instead of reactive. If you wait until the season just roll along in the spring, map out, you know, the schedule for March and April, the more I can forecast the revenue we're gonna do for the season. What gets measured, get managed, guys. I'm gonna be saying that a lot because I'm trying to be more accountable of the goals that we set in place this year and try to be able to measure it. So let's get going though, y'all, because I already got these things pre-scripted out, and I got basically a ballpark pricing that all of these people can go off of. Let me figure out something here because I don't want to be walking with my phone out like this. Let me figure this out, y'all. Let me get myself situated, y'all. Get myself situated. I try to have my my attachment game up to par. I like to put these things on doors and, you know what I'm talking about, get gone. I don't try to dwell around the door. I don't need people to start putting me on the ring doorbell and put me in the group saying, "Hey, we got this weird guy." So I'm gonna do it in sections, right? So I'm gonna knock out these 10 houses that's lined up, which is on the complete street, and then from there I'll be I'm gonna see. The thing is, I'm gonna plan for later for another round, but today my plan is to knock out the full neighborhood. I like for these door hangers to be up before people get home because it helps with you know, making that impression. Like they're gonna see it because, you know, they're home. No, they're headed home. They're like, "What's this on my door?" etc. So pop this on. Heading up to the first one. You can look at some of the lawn conditions as well. See this lawn? Check that lawn. Never Never just start walking across people's grass. It's just not cool. I take it as a form of disrespect, personally. If somebody's putting out door hangers on my house and I see them walk across like the neighbor's house or my house, like, bro, what are you doing? Like, not cool. It's not being generous of uh, my lawn. Yeah, so some of these things say don't ring doorbells. I'm not doing any of that. Just putting it out, keep it going. I do notice some of these doorbell sensors. Usually, when you're walking up on these properties, um, your doorbell detects people walking and notifies them. Oops. Hey, how you doing today? Come here. Come here. Roar. These ducks are so friendly. And usually, guys, when I see anybody like out, like in the, I don't went through those things that fast. Usually, when there's people that's out within their lawn, I basically I bypass it. Or if or if they're like a contractor that's currently running, pass it. Look at it, bring enough. Could have sworn I had enough, but I'll just go back and make a few more. Look like I got. Yes. So what I did, I actually put my I put my door hangers in my back pocket, and I have my phone in my right hand. So my left hand is completely free, and my left hand is completely free, and I just reach in my back left pocket, and I pull out a door hanger, put it on the door. I'm continuing to hold my phone with my right hand. And I've got to peep to see if I dropped any, because I could have sworn I got out with at least 10 for these properties. Maybe I miscounted the houses. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. Yeah, I miscounted the houses. I actually did I put out 10. Just miscounted the houses. But that's done. We'll actually write up a few more so I can go ahead and be a little bit proactive. And when I was just walking back to the truck, y'all, I did see that one of the doors at it, which I'm cool with that, because I'm out here They, I'm not. I kid you not, guys. As I'm on here talking to y'all, this phone is ringing. It is ringing. If y'all keep seeing my video installation, I'm actually about to go do this side estimate right now. Success loves speed, y'all. And that's a fact. Success loves speed. So the quicker you can get over to complete an estimate, give somebody complete numbers, the sooner they can make a decision. Because what's going to happen is this. I'm going to start picking up the phone. I'm actually going to have to start. I have a consultation process to where people will be inquiring about, landscaping, etc. But I won't be actually going out to do it immediately. It's going to have to be scheduled out, and I'm going to have to get to them, within a week or a few days. But it's not going to be as fast with the over marketing material, canvassing, marketing information, and then not prioritizing getting to the people to map out these jobs. I want to be ahead of my competition when it comes to speed and prioritizing, because that's really important. So what I'm doing when it comes to door hangers, you actually kind of saving a little bit of that time. People already have an idea that, okay, if I reach out, I can get these options or maybe more, and it's going to cost roughly this much. You've already gave them a idea to be able to even make a decision. So when they send that photo of, they want to move forward and stuff like that, it's game time. It's game time, because you've already did a little bit of a process to even get them to take action. And the faster you communicate with that being done, the more. They're doing a side job here, right in my neck of the woods. Oh man, they don't know. They don't know what they don't know. Like it. Oh, and they're tying in some drainage. I see them. They're doing some grading. It's this company back there. I can't see it. I got stuff blocking off my window. But there's a company over there doing sod installation. They're using a mini skid steer. They're doing front and backyard. This house just had a pool installed. I wish I would have got that job, but hey, you don't get everything just because somebody needs it. They didn't know about me. They didn't do enough research to be able to find me. Maybe if I would have put a door hanger out prior to the person needed it, I would at least been a thought to say, hey, let me consider this company, because they already reached out. And the crazy part about that is that company that I just seen doing that job, they didn't know that neighborhood probably was even back there, because that company is located on a whole different side of town, for one. So that means that person seeked them out, and they didn't discover me, basically. So that's why doing door hangers and getting in front of these customers' face is very important. Like, that's sometimes the root of stuff, man. You gotta literally get a little bit more granular. Like, gotta get granular and get to the properties and speak with customers, or put door hangers out and put a face to the company. Sometimes, not necessarily you have to do that, but if people get the ability to walk up on you and they like what you're offering or something, for one, when you're putting out the door hangers, if somebody approach you, in reality, you're not selling, you're not encroaching and soliciting, because hey, they start talking to you. They came to you needing something. You didn't go to them. So it's a difference. If you walked up, knocked on the door, that's soliciting. Or if you hanging out in front of the, it's many forms of soliciting, but putting out door hangers is considered canvassing. Look it up. CANVASSING, canvassing. It's definitely could be frowned upon if if the person really don't need it or whatever. But hey, it's really all about, you got to put yourself out there. You got to start from somewhere, man, and got to be intentional about your growth and where you're trying to build a tighter route at. This works for many purposes. If you have a service-based business where you're doing routine maintenance, a routine service, you definitely want to try to get the neighbors. It makes you more profitable. Less time you have to travel to go to, other areas, etc. So no ifs, ands, or buts. It's definitely necessary. But I just hit up those 10 properties. You seen what I did? All I did was walk property to property. Make sure you don't walk across people's grass. I take it as disrespect. You walk across my grass and you trying to sell something to me, like, bro, like, just have some integrity and character to not just disrespect my lawn. You don't know how I feel about it, but if you're putting out marketing material, I just feel like it's unprofessional to walk across somebody else's grass to go to the next property. That's just my perspective. So just be respectful of people's property. Treat it like you treat your own. I don't just walk across my grass to go to my neighbor's property at times, which I could, but that's different. It's because we neighbors, we know each other. And more than likely, I already performed the maintenance on their property anyway, so it's not weird for me to walk across the grass. But if you're somebody who are a stranger to the neighborhood, respect people's lawn, walk accordingly. And I'm thinking about this, y'all. Y'all see me, I got a polo on today, right? I feel like people definitely feel some type of way. If I had an iPad, a clipboard, it'll make it a little bit more professional, but I feel like it's more, people don't want to talk to you because they don't care what you're trying to sell. Sometimes it's like, oh my God, what are they trying to sell today? The goal is to just, hey, I want to blitz all these places, put all these flyers out on the doors. Don't bother nobody. I ain't trying to bother nobody. If I absolutely see a need, I still ain't gonna bother nobody because at the end of the day, if they pick up the material and they need it and they feel as if what I offer is a solution for it, hey, I'm cool with them buying, or reaching out to me. But besides that, I try to go where I'm wanted and needed. We don't know if they need us or want us, but at least what we're doing is they need to know. I know it seemed like I'm repeating information, but I'm just trying to emphasize that you have to get multiple impressions before people want to buy. So one way is I'm gonna put out door hangers, right? Door hangers is not necessarily a lot of branding on this flyer. Is more so just trying to fulfill the need. Two, once they do start to look for services like this, like mulch installation, sod installation, or weed control, any type of lawn care, I want to be able on the top of the mind. So the second door hanger that I put out is going to be more so a little bit more branded. Third, you have to continue to just make multiple impressions throughout the season, because despite somebody knowing that you offer one service, they may not know you offer other. But I'm not trying to, like, they're not going to see anything from me that says, hey, we provide lawn maintenance for this, that, and the third, because that's not the direction I'm going this year. So remarket. Round one, my goal is to probably put out at least, I'm gonna say at least 4 rounds. 4 rounds. And that can be of one type of marketing material. But in this case, I'm actually going to be splitting it up. So this is one round. The second round is going to be something else, because I do want to be recognized for one specific service, but this is one of them. The secondary is one that they're not going to need all the time. So I'm just be a little bit selective. I'm going to put them out to where I see fit. Like if I see that somebody has a terrible front lawn and they want a new lawn, they're definitely getting a sod installation door hanger. So I'm gonna be a little bit more selective when it comes to the fourth round. I'm gonna try to target for what I see that the people need versus just putting it out. And if they don't even need it, they have to need the service. I have to see the need for the property. That's so be selective on the type of properties that you approach. For instance, these properties, to be honest, they could roll with the pine straw, but I have ways, I have pros and cons of different types of ground cover. And when I have a conversation, once they send me a picture of the property with the address and all that stuff, that's when it opens up a conversation. And I can tell them about the different types of ground cover and see what they want to select. So for pine straw, which is the cheapest, right? Pine straw is what they have on the property. My thought process in my conversation is, hey, once they fill out the inquiry, I'm gonna call them and have a conversation just to get more clarity. It's basically a clarity call, and it's like, hey, I see that you guys have pine straw. I just wanted to let you guys know. Typically, this is what home builders and home builders typically put out to make sure you have some form of landscaping. It has its pros and its cons. While yes, it's cheap, and it does look nice, it's not really horrible to have. It's on a when it comes to the quality of your landscape. There's other type of ground covers you can consider. I would say for pine straw, it works. I would say for the first 3 months, it starts to lose color. So typically, people do replace pine straw more, usually twice a year, 2 to 3 times a year, just to keep the aesthetics looking really good and keep the color, because it does lose color with the sun beating down on it. Loses color fairly fast, usually 3 months, 90 days. So that's one thing to consider. Also, when I do 90% of my projects, if I had to say where do I find the most insects and bugs, unfortunately, I would say pine straw. I found palmetto bugs. We found all type of insects within pine straw. Snakes. We find it under pine straw, unfortunately. So that's usually scares the wife if she's the decision maker, or if the husband don't like insect. Either way, it's information. It's valid information. It's not me just telling them. This is real stuff that I experienced that I'm explaining to them. When it comes to mulch, that's the next tier up, and it improves the aesthetics a little bit more. It helps with oh yeah, let me mention with the pine straw is also like the pros of it is it's thin, airflow. It allows airflow and all the resources to get down to the plant. So it's actually helpful in ways as well. It's just the cons. It does definitely have insects and stuff like that. Let me move on to mulch because I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. When it comes to mulch, mulch is the next one that costs a little bit less. Not it's a cost a little bit more than pine straw, and it helps with moisture retention. As far as if you have plants and things like that, and you irrigate, it retains moisture a bit longer. It keeps the soil a little bit moister, and it also looks good from an aesthetic standpoint. You have a few color variations that you can choose from, like black, brown, or red. Um, and then there's also alternative if you wanted to use rubber mulch, which would be a little bit more costly. But just for cypress mulch, it's finely shredded, triple shredded cypress mulch, and it typically retains color for up to 6 months. A little bit longer, you get a little bit more lifespan out of it throughout the duration of the season. But you also may want to replace that twice a year. It really depends on your preference. Or if you just want somebody, like if you want to keep the same color, we can kind of refresh the mulch, within the next 6 months to kind of make the property look good for the full duration of the year. But that's something that can be, a recurring maintenance as far as just refreshing the mulch. And then the next tier would be rock. And this rock is the most costly. So I can give them 3 options if I wanted to, but I'm not pushing pine straw at all. It's just not profitable for me. Even if I subcontract it out, around here they charge like $5 a bale, or less than five, like $4.50 to $5 a bale, and they'll actually come out and install it long as it's over I think 30 or something like that. But it's just not profitable. I was at a point where I was charging like $15 a bale, $10 a bale, and it's so many other things that I can do that are more profitable than trying to be profitable off of pine straw. So, and I prefer other things that I like to do. So I ain't gonna promote something that I don't like to do. I tell them, hey, if you guys do want this pine straw, I can give you a reference for it. But for the most part, I don't even put pine straw out like that. I don't advertise pine straw because that's not what I want to do. I advertise mulch and rock because those are profitable for me, and to me, I like to improve the landscape with better ground cover. I want it to look totally different than when you bought the house. So rock, guys, when it comes to rock is the most costly. It's the most expensive option, but you won't have to replace it as frequent, long as you do the correct preparation, etc. So I do tell everyone when it comes to rock, we do have to put down a geotextile fabric, something that prevents the rock from sinking due to rainfall, and stuff like that. So we do have to put down a ground cover for the rock. So that's required. So it doesn't sink into the sand or sink into the dirt or the clay or whatever. And over a year, your rock's pretty much submerged under new dirt. Not to say that can't still happen, but the chance of it happen when you have a ground cover, I haven't had that issue to where, my rocks disappear after 2 years or whatever. So longevity definitely works when it comes to rock. You retain the color. It's not something you don't have to worry about the color retention. You don't have to worry about the colors fading and stuff like that. The cons of it, it's way more expensive. There's selective places that we can get it. If we bought it from Lowe's or Home Depot, a big box store, it would be significantly expensive, and I explain that to them. However, we do buy it in bulk, so we're able to save on costs a little bit better and provide you with a full landscape that fits your property. But the cons of rock is it's expensive, and you can only get it from selected places. You can get it from Lowe's, Home Depot, or you can get it from our local nurseries. Luckily, guys, we have one nursery in our local area that you can actually get Alabama River Rock, Carolina River Rock, Tennessee Cumberland River Rock, and also Hampton, Pennsylvania River Rock. Those are 4 amazing options, and they also have natural slated like stone, like chip rocks, basically like chip slates. I think is what it's called, natural chip slates or something. But it's like a grayish color, and it looks like chips, which is it's cool, and that's an option as well, which is a little bit less costly than the river rock. It's like $60 difference, but when it comes to rock, for the cons for the contractor, it's backbreaking. Period. You either better have a mini skid steer that's doing this, or definitely have multiple people with you when you're doing it, because it is backbreaking. It is the most strenuous when you're doing rock. You do not want to fill up a full barrel with rock. I feel like the barrels can't even handle that weight load like that sometimes. So it's best to put like a half to a quarter of the weight with rock when you're filling up a wheelbarrow. So if you're filling up less versus when you're doing mulch, you're able to fill it up pretty high because the weight is not a huge factor. You still got to have, eat your Wheaties or whatever. But for rock, it's super heavy. So it's more trips you're taking when it comes to rock because it's more strenuous. So you got to put less in it to get the ground cover. So you're going to get tired. So the project is going to last a little bit longer. So you have to estimate it accordingly. So for me, I charge almost $500 a yard when it comes to, but it's a little bit more than that based off of the preparation and all that stuff. But all those factors is what I'm in consideration of what I put on these door hangers. So just to get y'all back around, timing is important when you put out these door hangers because you want to be on their mind at the beginning of the season, and you want to continue to try to be on their mind throughout the whole spring, summer season. You need to be stapled in their mind for something that they can utilize your services for. So that's all I got, y'all. I got to get going. I got some more estimates I got to go do, and so I'm gonna go get to it. Hope y'all have an amazing season. Leave some comments down in the comment section if y'all have any questions on, where to get, pre-templates. You can either create your own, or you can go to like Brian Lawn Maintenance. He has them. Mike Anders, he has them on his website. I don't have I do have a custom one, but I haven't made it available, and it's only for lawn aerations. But y'all can find those on the. You can buy them in bulk, and you can have them pre-ready. And all you got to do is go pay for them. I think it's like either $50 to $100, depending on what you buy. And it gives you a few different options that you can just door hanger, put them on doors, and start to get some clients rolling in. But I'm gonna get going, y'all, because I got work to do. I got estimates to go complete, and I got to look up this address to figure out what area I'm gonna be in. Later.